Alrighty, guys, real quick. Y'all see that Jeep Grand Cherokee? Now, this is a 2011 through 15 version. All right, we call these Generation 2. All right, now I want y'all to notice something. See this thermostat, the way it's set up? This is totally different from a different generation Jeep Grand Cherokee, okay? On this thermostat, there's a bleeder screw right there. All right, you can take a Phillip head or a large straight head screwdriver and unscrew that, and while you're pouring coolant in, of course, you're bleeding all the air out. All right, that is the way to bleed such a system like this. Now, however, let's compare this version to another version. All right, you see this? This is a Jeep Grand Cherokee. However, look at this. Yeah, totally different, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 2016 and higher Jeep Grand Cherokee. They've been dubbed Generation 3. All right, this is the Gen 3 Pentastar. Now, the thermostats are a little different. Here's the thermostat on the Gen 3, okay? There's a lot of more connection on this thermostat, okay? As far as bleeder go, yes, you no longer have the bleeder screw. In fact, I have two thermostats right here, okay? This is the Gen 2 thermostat. This is the Gen 3 thermostat. Remember what I said earlier on the other card. This is the bleeder screw for the Gen 2. There is no bleeder screw for the Gen 3. However, in the event, now the proper way to bleed a Gen 3 is use a bleeder funnel, okay, and go through that way. But in the event you don't have a bleeder funnel, you can create an opening just like the Gen 2 thermostat. In fact, all you got to do is remove the coolant temp sensor. Just flip this knob and pull that out like that. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just created a hole where you can bleed air up through, okay, basically just like this. That is no different than unscrewing this. Even if you take it all the way out, you have the same amount of that same diameter hole maybe in this one as you do this one. So again, if you're doing a Generation 3 and you have no bleeder funnel or the proper way to bleed it or no way to bleed it at all, just simply create your bleeder opening by removing the coolant temp sensor. It's right here, okay? It's kind of funky. Just pull this tab right here. Where is it at? This one may be broke. Pull that tab right here and just simply turn counterclockwise. And now you will have that opening just like this. All right, so there's a major difference between Generation 2 and Generation 3 as far as Jeep, Grand Cherokee, Dodge Durango, and of course the Chrysler Pacifica only use the Generation 3. All right, any other model lower than that, it's fairly simple. You got a screw on your thermostat. Generation 3, you do not. All right, guys, got work to do. Stay tuned for more.